I've just spent £25 million. Hello there and welcome to Season 3, Episode 5 of Let's Go Parma. I'm Stubo. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode where we are going to be playing in the Italian Cup and we are then going to be playing against Spal in the league. If all of that sounds like a good plan to you, please do leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel as well for more lovely FM content to come. Since you were last with me, it's been a bit of a weird one actually. So we last saw you at the Dinamo Kiev game, which we won, and we confirmed we topped the group in our group, didn't we? Did we top our group? We did top our group. Yes, we did. Oh, I forgot about that. But since then, it's been a bit indifferent. So we drew against both Genoa and Fiorentina. And then we had a bit of a break. The mid-season break in Italian football, which was quite nice. And then we came back and absolutely thumped Roma, has to be said, mainly because of the Nicolo Zaniolo sending off in the 14th minute. Absolutely hacked Danilo Cataldi. It was a horrific challenge. It was absolutely the right thing to send him off. We then went behind. Granted, Xhaka scored a worldie of a free kick, but we then came back. 2 goals from Baton Balo, really helping us out there. We then lost against AC Milan. Very hard-fought game in the 94th minute of 93 minutes. Looking at you, Mr. Referee. Looking at you. But then we did beat Cagliari 4-1 in the league. Funnily enough, they're the team who we are going to be playing today. Yay! But let's talk about that £25 million, shall we? So, the board sent me an email in the mid-season break, and, well, yeah, they gave us a bit of a transfer budget. Around £18 million. I did not expect it whatsoever. They just plonked it in there and kind of said, there you go, have some fun. So have some fun I did. So kind of looking at the squad and I was thinking, what do we actually need? Is there anything we actually need? Well, I kind of looked and thought, well, we have a lot of loan, well, we don't have a lot of loan players, but we have some loan players. So maybe we need to be investing the money into the positions that are going to be freed up by those loan players. So went with 2 players, and those 2 players are Adam Karabakh. Now, I feel like I definitely have looked at this guy before, but I feel like I may not have looked at him on camera. It might have been in between bits, but I can't remember. But either way, I've definitely looked at this guy before. Definitely couldn't afford him before, but we could afford him now, and we have signed him, and already he looks very, very good. 2 appearances, 1 start, 1 sub, a goal and an assist already. Both of those came in the last game. Signed him for £12.5 million. It's a ridiculous amount of money for someone who is classed as a bona fide wonder kid. He looks incredible. He's 6 foot tall. He's quick. He's relatively strong. Decent finish on him. Passing's not too bad. He's playing in that position as a shadow striker at the moment, and he looked great in that first game. So I'm very, very happy with this as a signing. The other signing was a central defender, Arthur Theat. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be completely wrong. Belgian central defender, 2 caps for Belgium. Signed him from Bologna, who they got relegated. So he's been playing in the Serie B so far this season. As you can see, been playing very, very well there as well. He wanted to leave. He was on the transfer list, and we signed him for £13 million, which again, for the quality he could become, is a bit of a steal in my opinion. Other teams room for him as well. We got him, and he looks pretty good to me. Quick central defender, 6'1", decent jumping, good heading, good tackling, good marking, well, decent marking, good positioning. I think he could be a bit of a superstar. Only made the 1 substitute appearance so far, but I think he's going to be a very good defender for us. So they're the 2 signings we've currently got. We've also had Fernandinho come in on the deal that we arranged, I think, last season. I'm man enough to admit my mistakes. This was one of them. He is not going to be here very long. We're currently getting him loaned out. And then we're probably going to move him on next season because he does not look any kind of good. He's currently at Serie C level. That's not ideal. But the transfer business actually doesn't stop there. We are looking at potentially bringing in at least 1 more player. And that 1 more player is Dominik Yankov. Now, I've definitely looked at him before as well. And I'm pretty sure I've looked at him on camera. But again, my memory's failing me a little bit. But we are looking at him. We have got a bid in for him at the moment. A loan bid. Whereas Borussia Dortmund, Newcastle and Hertha Berlin all trying to sign him on a permanent. I think our deal does include a option to buy at the end of it. We're signing him to be a backup winger. Again, I'm thinking just as an extra body in the midfield. I think it would help to have another player about there, but I mean, I've wanted this guy for a little while. He looks pretty incredible. He'd be a 4.5-star player, apparently, and I do think he would fit into the team really, really well. What that signing and the Karabek signing does mean is that we can give a bit of a break to Martin Rabo. Now, Martin Rabo has done nothing wrong, but I'm overly aware. That's the wrong players do. I'm overly aware that he's 17 years old. He's played a lot of football for us, and he's got a 6.69 rating. Playing is definitely helping his development, but what also helps his young players' development at this point is good match ratings. What a unibrow he's got, by the way. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty. He needs good match ratings, so we've made him available for the under-20s. He's still in and around the first team. He's still going to get some game time, but he is going to be playing quite a bit for the under-20s, and hopefully he'll be one of the best players there because of his match rating. That's my hope. And by the time he comes back into the team, Fagioli will have moved back to Juventus, and there'll be another space in the team for him. So he's not done by any stretch of the imagination. We're just putting him on the back burner for now. We've definitely, obviously, as I've said, got Karabek in, who's fitted in straight away. And then we might even have Yankov as well. But none of that matters because we're going to get to the game against Cagliari, the second game against Cagliari in a row after the one in the league. But this one is in the Coppa Italia, and we are looking to get a good result here, hopefully. And this is the 11 that will get us through to the next round if all goes well. It's Dragowski in goal, Zappa, Greenmore, Theat and Valeri in defence. Enriquez and Cataldi in midfield with Totino, Karabek and Mihaila supporting Luca up front. Luca had been on a bit of a goal drought but did score in the last game. Along with Karabek. And Tino was also picked up a little bit too. Really been in poor form, but we have managed to pick things up with him a little bit as well. So, all good. A couple of things we need to mention though. Dragowski was touted by a couple of clubs. We did put in a new contract for him. See, he's on a big boy contract now, £60,000 a week. I think we are in the middle of doing that with Leo Greenwell as well. His release clause kind of coming back to bite us a little bit. We have put in a contract offer, but as you can see, 3 clubs are meeting his release clause. If he goes, we get a lot of money for him, and we can reinvest it into the team. I think they're the main ones. So, without any further ado, we're going to get to the game against Cagliari. Let's go. We did absolutely stuff Cagliari in the last game. We're hoping we can do the same here. Again, Cataldi with an early corner looking to do the same thing. And it is Arthur Theat who gets his debut goal on his first ever start for the club. Marvellous. I mean, we couldn't really ask for much better, to be honest with you. It's a lovely corner from Cataldi. And Theat, he's not the tallest man in the world, 6'1", but he's got a good jump on him. He's got a very good header on him as well. And that was enough for him to outdo the defence of the Cagliari side. And it is Parma 1, Cagliari 0. And we're on the attack again. And it's Enriquez randomly on the right-hand side, which I don't fully understand because he's not playing as a right winger. But the ball comes to Greenwell now. Greenwell into Mihaila, goes for the shot, hits the crossbar. The defence kind of doesn't deal with it very well, and they end up getting it out just about. But it didn't look very comfortable for them, I have to say. Didn't look comfortable at all, but I would like more than 1-0. But if we have to settle for 1-0, I will take it. I am nothing if not fair in that assessment. Theat, really glad he's had a good debut as well. It was weird when we got that amount of money from the board. I kind of looked around. I was just like, eh? What do I do with this? I left myself kind of thinking, do we invest the money now? Do we look to buy players for the summer? Or do we bring bodies in now? And I just thought, well, let's just bring the bodies in now, shall we? If we can afford them. Player value does go up in January sometimes. Some players some clubs really don't want to let their players go. So, thinking about that, we were just trying to think, what do we do? Centre-back makes sense because we had William Saliba on loan from Arsenal. Obviously wouldn't be here next season. Interestingly enough, Saliba immediately has been recalled by Arsenal. Mikel Arteta sent us a message saying, why isn't he playing? And I literally had an option to say, if you want to recall him, go ahead. We'd completed the signing. I just thought, let's do it. Let's just send him back. There's no point playing a lone player ahead of a player we now own who's relatively young and got decent potential. Let's just do it. As far as Karabek goes, again, the signing of him just allows Martin Rabo not to have quite as much pressure on him. He can play in the occasional game, and he probably should have played today if it wasn't for the fact that Karabek has only just joined, and I want to get him settled into the team. He's had a decent game today, to be fair. But it just means that Rabo isn't being relied on to play in a lot of games and really contribute to the team at the young age of 17. He's good enough to play a part at 2.5 star. Mihaila with a lovely goal there, and it's Karabek with another assist as well. Karabek is fitting into this team in that support striking role really well. I say support striker, it's shadow striker, isn't it? I've never really gotten on with the shadow striker, I have to admit. The only time that I've used one recently is actually in one of the games you haven't seen on camera, where I used Esposito as one. And that's what kind of got me looking at Karabek as an option, seeing that he was an actual shadow striker. And I'm very glad I did, because look at the result. We're 2-0 ahead. Happy days. I'm not going to complain about that. But no, I was just looking at it and thinking, let's bring him in. We've got him and Fagioli, I forgot his name then. Theat scored another goal. And I'm going to keep saying his name differently. Arthur Theat. I'm going to go with Theat. I think it's Theat. I don't care what his name is. Arthur scored again. It's another lovely header from another lovely Cataldi corner. That'll do. But yeah, it just, to me, easy to pressure on that attacking midfield role. It means that we have got two very, very capable players who can play there right away that we don't need to worry about the development of. I mean, Karabek is still a wonder kid. He's going to get better and better. He's just scored his second game in a row. He loves playing against Cagliari. It's a goal and an assist for the second game in a row. Against the same opposition, admittedly, but that's absolutely insane. Oh, I love this team. Oh, I love them. Mihaila returning the favour, getting the assist in. Wow, I don't know whether he technically counts as an assist because the first shot was blocked. Either way, it doesn't matter. It is 4-0 Parma versus Cagliari. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, I like this game. This is a lot of fun. But yeah, so we ended up settling on, let's just spend the money now. Let's get a couple of players in. We upset loan players. It doesn't matter. These are 2 loan players we are not looking to keep. We're probably not going to be able to keep as well because the clubs will want to have them back. So let's just, what will be, will be. And I'm very happy with the decision so far. In terms of Yankov, the main thing is, Totino's been poor all season. So getting someone who can play in as a winger, I don't think he's the... Oh, Karabek again. I mean, that's probably going to be disallowed. But what a goal that was. Just thundered it in the back of the net. Oh, I'd love it. Look at the fans. They're so happy. I'd love it if this didn't get disallowed, because I really liked that goal. But it has been disallowed. We can't just have nice things all the time. But yeah, the new signings. I think they help. Yankov, that's what we're talking about. Before we're rudely interrupted by a disallowed goal. Yankov, I think, will definitely give us another option on those wings. So I think we've got good options at the moment. I thought Theat was going to get a hat trick. I'm going to get his name wrong so many times. We've got Totino, we've got Mihaila, we've got Man, and we've also got S3E5. And I think all of them are really good options. Mihaila has his odd moments where he's not been very good. Totino's had a shocking season compared to his last 2. And S3E5 can be a little bit anonymous every now and then, as can Man. So I think having another player who can come in and play in those positions, he can also play as an attacking midfielder. And if you have any issues with Luca or Esposito, it does free up Totino to play as a striker as well. So we have got a really good multifunctional player, I think. Right, what are we going to do substitution-wise? Well, Valeri's not had a great game, so we're going to bring him off, and I think we're going to bring on... Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do, actually, because I kind of want to bring Sambir on, because Sambir's been out with the flu. So maybe, you know what, actually, we're going to bring Zappa off. Zappa's had a good game. We're going to bring him off. He's a little bit tireder than Valeri. We'll get Valeri higher rating, hopefully. Tino, speaking of, has not actually had a good game, so we're going to bring him off as well. And we're going to bring on S3E5 or Man. We'll bring on S3E5 because he's not complacent. If you're complacent, you're not playing. Simple as that. Change him to an inverted winger. And then I think we'll leave it there. But I'm thinking Karabek or Luca as the final change. Just because Karabek's played 2 very, very good games. Very, very close together. He's played very well. And he deserves a bit of a rest. And he didn't get that second goal, which means I wouldn't want to take him off. So really now it's Karabek, Luca into Mihaila. Doesn't really get there. And now Cragno launches it up the field. But it is dealt with by Theat. The thing I'm really excited about is the idea that Karabek and Luca are now going to form a partnership. Luca does like to drop back in that complete forward role every now and then. And the idea of Karabek with the pace that he has bursting forward and getting goals really excites me. And the idea of Karabek acting as a bit of a sideways playmaker in terms of he's not meant to be a playmaker, but he can do it. Just providing balls to Luca all day long. And even playing 1-2s, Karabakh to Luka, Luka holds the ball up, Karabakh runs beyond him. The idea of that does excite me, and I would very much like it to be a thing. Whether it will be or not, I don't know. We're going to make that final change now, actually, because I want to bring Rabo on. I think we're going to bring Rabo on in the midfield. And I think it is going to be Karabakh who comes off. And what we'll do, in fact, you know what? Rabo can come on for him, actually. Like for like. Like for like. We'll bring Rabo on. We'll get him a decent amount of football. 15 minutes is good for a player. Saruri's just scored after coming on the pitch from the bench. That's fantastic. It's 5-0 in the Coppa Italia, and I'm very happy for it. But yeah, 75 minutes is usually the latest you want to be bringing a young player on. Ideally, you want to be making sure it's before the 75th minute, because it will get you the most development from a young player. And as you can see, we have managed to do that, which is glorious. Rabo is on. He'll get some decent game time. Hopefully, he'll get a half-decent rating as well, because we are 5-0 up. If we can get a 6 and have him involved in it, that would be even better. But it'll get him a little bit of football, get him some game time, and I'll be very happy about it. Cataldi now looking for the head, surely off Theat, couldn't get there. And Enriquez looking to recycle the ball here, gets it to Valeri. Going to try and get it back in. Goes to Sambir instead. Back to Enriquez. Into Saruri. First time really playing Enriquez as a deep line playmaker. And he's done a good job there, to be honest with you. I'm very impressed with him in that role. Wasn't 100% sure how he would do that, but he has done very well. I would be happy to play him there again. But remember, we are playing against a team that's on nowhere near our quality. Mahala's got another goal here. And it's Sambir with the assist. Junior Sambir. Very good signing when we signed him. Very, very happy with him. And it is 6-0 in the 87th minute. Lovely, lovely stuff. We don't need to see the goal. We saw it the first time. It was a good goal. Rabo with a 6.8, 6.7. I'd like that to be a little bit higher. But you know what? It's not the end of the world because we win the game. And we are through to the next round of the Italian Cup. Delightful. What a game from Adam Karabakh. He has been sensational. Normally, when I sign new players, unless they get a pre-season under their belt, they take a few games to really settle in. And he literally arrived not that long ago. So that is a very, very good performance. Karabakh getting a goal, getting an assist as well. Did a great job. And Theat on his debut with 2 goals has to be the man of the match. Absolutely. And we've got Lazio in the next round, in the quarterfinal no less. So we've had some fixture rearrangements, but I can't complain about that. By the way, I should point out, in the league, we're currently 5th. That little run of draws and that loss against AC Milan has kind of done us in a little bit in terms of our top 4 position at the moment. But we're still only a couple of points off. We're still only 5 points off the top. So it's not like it's all over. It's definitely not. But yeah, we were top at one point. We were in the top 2 at one point, and we have dropped down a little bit. So still got some work to do if we want to finish in the Champions League spots. Right. I'm going to play the Torino game, the Napoli game, and the Sassuolo game, who've apparently got a completely different name because I've done the real name fix finally. We're going to play these 3 games off camera. We're going to do deadline day off camera because realistically, Yankov is the only deal I want to do. We'll do those off camera and we'll come back for the Spal game as mentioned before. Don't go anywhere. See you in a moment. Well, we tried. We really, really tried, but sadly, we did not get Dominik Yankov. He ended up going on a permanent deal to Borussia Dortmund. I mean, look at the value of him now. It's utterly ridiculous. But the deal was not to be. And as I said, this is the only deal I really wanted to do. So we haven't done any other business since the last deals that you saw. So our transfer business is as follows. I mean, we've brought in a fair few players this season. Not all of them have necessarily worked. But as you can see, from January, we brought in Adam Karabakh, Arthur Theat. Fernandinho's signing was confirmed and he's pretty much immediately gone out on loan, I think. Yes, he has. And Antoni Toivonen. Yeah, that's one you haven't seen. Tori Toivonen. We've signed this guy. He's a youngster. He was coming up. He was wanted by a bunch of teams. 4-star potential. He's probably not going to be fantastic, but at 17 years old, I thought he could grow into a good player. So signed him. Not for a lot of money. £400. I think that's just compensation. I think we signed him on a free. Yeah, it's a weird one, actually. He was out of contract, so we offered him a deal. And he's joined now. So, I mean, it was in the Finnish League, wasn't he? So, to be fair, I think the Finnish League is done. I mean, we can't see it because it's loaded, but I think the Finnish League is calendar year, as someone pointed out in the stream one time. So, I feel like that's the reason why we've got him, but it did confuse me a little bit. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. Transfer business concluded. We're on the 7th of February, which means it is time for the Spal game. In fact, before we do that, let's show you how we did in those other couple of games. Not particularly brilliantly. So we did beat Torino, which was fantastic. Sarui just wrecked them, and Sebastiano Esposito getting a goal as well was really nice to see. Draw against Napoli. The most important thing, red card to Junior Sambia. Who knows what would have happened if that red card didn't happen, but the defensive display we put in was fantastic. I genuinely am very proud of the boys for getting a draw here, but it does make you wonder if Sambia didn't get sent off, what would have happened. Monchu did start, he didn't get a rating because he was the person who we actually substituted. We had to bring on a defender, so we brought on Zappa as a backup right back, so Monchu was the sacrifice there. And then, this is a bit of a disappointing one. Sassuolo, 1-1. Look at that equaliser, 91st minute. It was a very, very close game. A very, very close game, but that one was a bit of a gut punch. So we are 2 draws in a row at the moment. We did have that win, 3 wins in a row as well, but we have got 2 draws in a row. So really, we would like to turn things around and get into the Spal game and win. As you can see, we're currently 5th in the Serie A table as a result of those draws. It's all very close. I mean, we're two wins off the top. We're 6 points off the top. Certainly not looking to win the league this season. That would be ridiculous, but if we were looking at it, we're not far away from it at all. It's Milan, Inter, Lazio, Juventus, and us, and we're currently ahead of Napoli. So Napoli really would have liked to have won that game to get closer to us. But anyway, we are going to get to the game against Spal, and this is the 11 we're going to be using to hopefully get 3 points. It's Dragowski in goal, Zappa, Grimal, Valenti, and Cambiasso in defence, Monchu and Cataldi in midfield, with Man, Karabek, and Mihaila supporting Luca up front. Luca's had a couple of games where he's not been very good. No one really other than the defence recently have been that good, but we're going to be hoping that can all turn things around. Sambia is actually available again, so we'll put him on the bench, but I'm sending a bit of a message to him by not starting him in this game, but if we need to bring him on, we will. But let's get to the game against Spal. It's one of a number of away games we've got in a row. If we have a quick look here, starting from the Torino game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away games in a row. I know one of them is a cup game in the game against Lazio, but my word, bit of an unfair run, I think. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's just get to the game and see what happens. Hopefully, we get 6 points. 6 points? No, 3 points. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go. We could really do with 3 points in this game, just to not turn this into a downward trend of draws. And I do think we have got more than enough to do it, and I think we're definitely good enough to beat Spal. Spal, I think, in the pre-match press conference, have actually let their manager go. So currently they are managerless. So this is a perfect opportunity for us. Just go and absolutely baster them. I'm going to guess they're going to be bottom of the table. They are bottom of the table on 11 points. So really we should be winning. I mean, if we seem to be struggling, we will go to attacking. But maybe, just maybe, we won't have to resort to that. And Danilo Cataldi, his first goal of the season is a peach of a free kick. What a strike that is. Let's look at that again. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh, the curve on that goes over the wall. Dumbfounds the keeper. And our defensive midfielder scores an absolute worldie of a free kick. Happy days, 1-0. And that does put us up to 4th, I think that did say. No, it puts us up to 3rd as results stand. Lazio must not be having a fun time. Lovely little header there from Grimal to Dragowski. Grimal has, I feel like I've mentioned it before, but Grimal has been fantastic for us ever since he signed. Yes, he's got the thing that says he's not very good in big games. I don't necessarily believe it. I think he's pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, Adam Karabek. What a signing he's been. I have never used a shadow striker properly before, other than a couple of attempts, which I've been very disappointed in. And that man is incredible for us at the moment. Goals, assists, it's everything I want in an attack. Can't speak, I'm so excited. It's everything I want in an attacking midfielder, and he has done a fantastic job. A fantastic job. I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier with that transfer whatsoever. When we made it, I did kind of think, do we actually need him? Well, no matter whether we need him, he's definitely helped. Definitely helped and improved the team. And just having someone in that position who we know is definitely good enough for the first team. Obviously, we've got Fagioli who can play there, and Martin Rabo can play there as well. But Martin Rabo is definitely not ready for the first team. We're just playing him there to get him growing so he's having game time. We've now kind of come to the decision that if he's playing in the under-20s, instead, he's still getting game time and probably going to get better match ratings. And if Karabekh could have buried that, that would have proved my point even more. But yeah, if he's getting better match ratings in the under-20s and then coming on for the last 15 minutes and getting some first-team experience here while he's still young, to me, that's got to be more beneficial than him getting 6.5. So Karabek's done it again. Cambiasso with the assist, but Karabekh just... I mean, he might be our signing of the season, and we've only had him for less than a month, I think. But this performance at the start, I mean, I think he's got a release clause on him, which was part of the deal. I'm going to have a look after the game just to double check. We've destroyed them in this game, by the way. Look at the amount of chances we have had compared to them. Absolutely insane. Monchu now to Man. Dennis Man. What a ball that is to Mihaila. And Mihaila, getting past his man, just slots it past the goalkeeper. And this is embarrassing for Spal. Absolutely embarrassing. Man to Mihaila. And there's a flare going off there, a black flare. Probably looks like somebody in a demon or something with a black flare. Looks a little bit spooky, but what a ball this is. Crossfield pass, just beautiful. We just undo their defence. And again, we have to remember, Spal at the bottom of the table, they're managerless. So let's take this with a pinch of salt. But 56 minutes in, we are absolutely destroying them. As it stands, we are now in 4th. So whatever was happening with Lazio must have sorted itself out. But we are back in the Champions League places. Obviously, if we finished in the Europa League places this season, on paper would be very happy with that, because we never should have been anywhere near the Champions League spots last year. How we did that, I don't know. But as we finish there, it would be nice to finish there again. But if we go into the Europa League, I'll be equally as happy. There'll just be a little tinge of, well, we finished in one this season and one in the other. Lorenzo Lucca, by the way, I haven't really talked about him much other than saying he was disappointing in previous matches. He has disappointed me quite a bit recently. Like, he just hasn't looked like the striker that he looks like on paper. And I don't know whether I had an over expectation of how good he was. I know in the early game, when FN22 came out, before some of the major updates, he was unstoppable. And I know that I think some of the updates at the beginning did nerf him a little bit, but I still believe he's a very good player. And to be fair, he still scored an awful lot of goals for us. But he's not hammering them in. Like, I mean, he's competing with Esposito, and I thought he would be outperforming Esposito. As it turns out, Esposito, we started him every game, might actually be having a better season if we'd committed to him every game. But we wanted to make sure we've got a striker who is actually going to be at the club. We've actually let them in here, and they might be getting what? I mean, Dragowski saves it. It was an unnecessary dive from Dragowski, but he does save it. Right, substitute o'clock. Who are we going to change? Everyone's having a good game. Funnily enough, the worst players who are having the worst games are the goalkeeper, who's not done a lot, and Lorenzo Lucca. Funnily enough, I'm tempted to take Lorenzo Lucca off, if I'm being completely honest with you, just because of that, just to send him a bit of a point. And we'll bring Esposito on and see whether Esposito can get to football. We're going to bring Sciattarella on as well. We're going to bring him on for, I think, Cataldi. And then we'll leave the final substitution for a little bit. We want to get those guys on, get them some football, get their fitness levels up a little bit. I would take Karabekh off if he wasn't on a hat-trick, but he's on a hat-trick. I would quite like to see him get a hat-trick in this game. He's definitely got the ability to do it. But it's a highlight starting with Spal here. Are we going to steal the ball off of them, or are they actually going to get another attack? Maybe not. Maybe they're not going to do that. Dragowski picks up the ball from the header from Zappa. It's good to see Zappa and Cambiasso both playing well. Zappa in particular, we signed him, but Sambia has been so good. He's barely got a game in unless there's been an issue with Sambia. And even then, Cambiasso's filled in there a few times. Mihaila now gets forward, looking to get the ball in. Holds the ball up a little, gets to Cambiasso. Cambiasso went for the worldie. Karabekh has his chance for a hat-trick, doesn't get it. But Mihaila does pick it up, and technically Karabekh does get an assist. And it is 5 in the 78th minute. Another one of those demon black flares is going off in the corner. And I'm very, very happy about it. Very happy indeed. This is a perfect way. Lorenzo, is that... That's Esposito, isn't it? It's Esposito's number 9. Esposito got in the way of that shot. This is the perfect way to get over that 2-game drawing hangover, which is what I'm kind of looking at as. I mean, the team is a little bit tired at the moment, so it's one of those that I'm not overly surprised that we did struggle in those couple of games. Inter must be losing, because this is all going a bit nuts. So, are Inter even playing? I think they are, but we can't see the game. We've all of a sudden gone up to second with the results as they are. Are Lazio losing? I can't see Lazio's game now either. Oh, Lazio are drawing. So as it stands, we currently go second. That's insane. Utterly insane. We've got no substitution to make, and I've not made it. Let's. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? I'm not going to bring Raba on because there's no point bringing him on for the last few minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on Fagioli in that deep line playmaker role because he actually can play there pretty well. Well, he's got the stats to do it, I think. Not quite as defensive, but we don't really need defensive in this game. I'm going to drop a little bit of praise on the players because they have been fantastic today. And a 5-0 drubbing of bottom of the table spot is exactly what the doctor ordered. Couple of players with a couple of goals as well. Karabek and Mihaila. Always good to see. Karabek was just incredible in this game. 2 goals and an assist. We'll give him a pat on the head. And we will have a quick nose at his contract. So just double check. Is there actually a release clause in there? Yeah, 29.5 million, which considering we paid 12.5 million is definitely a positive. But look at him so far. 3 goals, 3 assists, 2 player of the matches in 6 games. And he's had nothing like that in the Czech Republic. Nothing like that whatsoever. And, I mean, he's just stepped up absolutely brilliantly. And I couldn't be happier about it. I couldn't be happier about it at all. Let's have a quick look at who we are going to be playing next. So I think this one almost picks itself. I think we're going to skip the rest of February, including that first Champions League game. We're going to come back for that Champions League game, and I think we'll come back for one of the games before that. I'm just trying to think, who did we play earlier in the season on camera? Did you guys see the Inter game? I think you did. Did you guys see the Inter and the Juventus game? I don't think you saw the UV game. So I think we'll come back for the Juventus game and the Leipzig game. These are the 2 we'll do, I think. That makes the most sense to me. Juventus and Leipzig in the month of March, and then we'll see exactly how things go from there. See if we get into the next round of the Champions League and how we are doing in the table. Speaking of the table, this is how it stands after today's episode. We have played 21 games and we are currently second in the table, 6 points behind AC Milan. Inter Milan, though, do have a game in hand on us, and that could put them above us by 3 points, actually. Sambia is still the best player in the league, apparently. Valencia is the 3rd best player. Monchu has got the joint top assists. And Dragowski is 2nd on the clean sheet chart, which is pretty good to me. Having a look at personal club stuff. Esposito and Luca actually tied for goal scorer, which is pretty impressive at the moment. Sambia, highest average rating with 7.52. I haven't looked at this for a while, so I just wanted to have a look at this while we're on camera. Monchu's got 8 assists. Best pass completion is Button Below, the homegrown boy. Player of the match awards is shared between Greenwell, Sambia, Dragowski, Sebastiano, and Lorenzo Luca. I think that's quite impressive. The fact that we've got so many players who are tied on that shows that we are a team effort rather than just one individual. Look at how tired the team is. And then the Naughty Boys Club is Danilo Cataldi on 10 yellow cards and Sambia and Fagioli with a red card apiece. But that, I think, is going to be that. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel as well for more future FM loveliness. I've been Stubo. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.